Hello EastEnders fans, and welcome back to my full review, my big review of EastEnders. I'm so sorry this is up late. I know I've been posting it the last 2 weeks on Sundays, but yeah, so yeah, what emotional week again. So yeah, yeah, emotional week. Everyone struggles to come to terms with recent tragedy. Mick is racked with guilt. Yeah, Keegan blames Mick for Shaquille's death, and yeah, Mick is struggling, God man, and yeah, leave Mick alone. And of course, everyone moans to about Shaki, Shaquille, and yeah, it was a heartwarming episode again. It was a whiff of brilliant talent between Bonnie Lamford, Zach Morris as well, and yeah, it was a whiff of brilliant entertainment. It was. I loved the ending of Monday's episode of course, Carmel confronting Mick and saying, "Why you didn't save my son?" I was like, "Bro, mate, that is heartwarming, man." But it was a brilliant performance, of course, from Bonnie Lamford, of course. Yeah, it was, and of course, a mourn of Shaquille. Yeah. So yeah, on Tuesday's episode, it goes terms to the worse for it goes terms to the worse. So yeah, Jean comes up with a plan to help Kat to see her kids. Karen's suspicious when Keegan goes to meet a friend. Yeah, Jean comes up with a plan to help Kat to see her kids. So basically, Mo asks Jean to flock these stuff, and yeah, it's different stuff. Yeah, oh yeah, poor Jean, poor Jean. So yeah, Karen is suspicious about Keegan, and yeah, of course, Keegan meets up with his local friend, and yeah, of course, Keegan is going to go after him. Oh, yeah, which is really bad, and of course, another significant, fantastic performance from Bonnie Lamford. Again, I loved the speech on Monday's episode of Kush in the Vic saying, "Family, friends are people you love, and if you've got them, that you have got everything that you need." That was a brilliant speech, of course. So on it was a brilliant episode again on Tuesday's episode of EastEnders. Of course, Carmel tries to nearly committed suicide on Tuesday's episode on EastEnders, and yeah, it was a shocking thing. But yeah, so on Thursday's episode, this was a brilliant free-handed scene between Linda organises a touching tribute for Shaquille, and Haley quizzes Kat about what happened in Spain. So, yeah, it was a touching moment for Linda organising a tribute to Shaquille. So, it was a brilliant free-handed scene between Carmel with Bonnie Lamford, Danny Dyer, and Lorraine. It was a significant, brilliant scene where two mothers confront Mick, and of course she decides and of course Karen says, I'm so gone now. Karen says there were some good people around here, and they might not always get it right, but they do their best. Yeah, it was a touching scene, and of course Karen saying, "Oh, what it could be. I'll be in the same position." Karen says to Kamal, "I'll be in the same position what you have in if Keegan got was deaf, and of course Mick didn't save him. He saved Shaquille, and yeah, it was a heartful scene between them two mothers and Mick. It was heartwarming and really, really thin. So at the end of the episode of Thursday's episode was heartwarming, emotional, and grieving about Shaquille, and yeah, of saying goodbye to Shaquille in a heartwarming tribute. It was. And then Camille So Brave came out and of course said sorry briefly to Karen, like that, and it was like, oh man, yeah, it was brilliant performances from Lorraine, Bonnie, and Danny in Thursday's episode of EastEnders. It was heartwarming as well. On Friday's episode, of course, Hayley quizzes Kat about what happened in Spain. Yeah, of course she does. Yeah, of course. But yeah, Mel learns some horrible news about the club. Hayley gives Kat a altered Darmilla. So, in Friday's episode, of course, everyone knew about what happened to the club. Of course, them like Keegan and that went to the club and spent some time together. And of course, we find out that that Louise and Keegan had a moment, of course, of losing Shaki, of course, and of course, Bernadette and Finny had a moment as well, but yeah, which she was confused about Bernadette. Yeah. So on Friday's episode, Keegan takes Carmel, where is the killer of Finn, and she says, and Keegan says to Carmel, what should I do? What should I do? And it was a wonderful, powerful speech from Carmel in this episode. It was so heartwarming. Your whole lives, our blood, our breath, everything. And yeah, of course, because of that mother of the one who stabbed them too. And yeah, it was a heartful speech. And of course, they call the police, and everyone goes, and then Carmel confronts the killer's Carmel and the killer's mother. And yeah, of course, she did say something, but yeah, it was it was two brilliant actors, Zach Morris and Bonnie Lamford in this episode. It was pure brilliant, both of them. Of course, Hunter was going to blame Keegan for the phone, but Keegan, Louise, saved the phone, thank God, and of course, Keegan done a wonderful speech. Zach Morris done one speech, who plays Keegan, to Louise, and yeah, of course, I'm not going to say nothing, because I love Hunter. Of course, she does. And of course, congrats to 3 awards for EastEnders as well. And yeah, so yeah, all things, yeah, congrats to EastEnders for best newcomer, for outstanding treatment to the one who plays Patrick Truman, and of course best scene, which was a tie as well. But yeah, all things for it was a brilliant week, emotional week of EastEnders. I really enjoyed it. It was fantastic and emotional. So I'm gonna give Monday's episode 9.2 out of 10. Tuesday's episode 9 out of 10. Thursday's episode 9.4 out of 10, and Friday's episode a brilliant 9.7 out of 10, because it was the whole week was amazing and fantastic. Brilliant writing, brilliant performances as well. And yeah, it was fantastic and amazing. So EastEnders continues tomorrow at 8 o'clock on BBC One. Stay tuned for that, guys. Of course, the schedule is going to change throughout the week of the next 2 weeks because of the football, guys. So yeah, hope you enjoy this review, guys. Give us a big thumbs up. Keep on subscribing to my channel, guys. Click the bell button if you get a notification when I upload. And yeah, and comment down below what was your favourite movie of this week's EastEnders. And yeah, keep on subscribing to my channel for all things sketches, reviews, the Q&A show, and more, guys. And see you in my Hollyoaks review, guys. Yeah, and see you next week for another epic full week of EastEnders. Hope you enjoyed this review, guys. And keep on subscribing to my channel. Goodbye, guys. Peace.